Okay, now we're doing Libra real quick. What's up, Libra in the dub? How y'all living life? Are you living? Or are you just learning to live life? You know, all of you should be having a great life and doing what you love. Don't do things that you don't love, because that's what gets us caught up in this this fantasy world. Like, we can be this and no doggone well we got to work hard to do all that. You know, we got to, but that's what you feel about yourself. Go for it. But hey, let's see, what's the problem you got going on today, baby? What's the issue? What do ancestors want us to know versus what we need to know, spirit? What we need to know. And angels, what I need to know. Y'all protect me as I do this. Archangel Michael, protect me. Any black magic, go back to center. What's this issue that you have going on here? What's the issue? What's the main problem that you got going on here, Libra, right now? What's the issue? Something about biblical. Something is biblical. It's like in the Bible days. There's something in the Bible days that are playing out. What's this biblical going on? What's biblically going on? Something about people's soulmates. There's something going on about soulmates. People's belief, 14th, about some soulmates that they're tied to. See, somebody was a medicine man or woman, and someone needed to learn self-love, number 24. There's a soulmate need to learn to self-love themselves. That's the biggest thing going on in your life right now. You have to learn to love yourself first before you can love anybody else. It's a big thing, Libra. We do through either somebody you know or you, but sometimes we hide it and we go, we don't want nobody to know. What happened in the recent past here? What happened in the recent past? Somebody's from Atlantis. Somebody may have been in Atlantis or be, something to do with the Atlantics. What's going on in Atlantis? Somebody has something to do with it in the recent parts. What's going on in Atlantis? You might be from Atlantis and you don't know it. If someone is healing, 21. See, somebody Atlantic, somebody was a healer in Atlantic. Somebody 21 could have been. They were a healer in the Atlantics. That's what they used to do, heal people and stuff. They were good sorcery. In other words, somebody was a sorcerer. Now, what happened in the distant past is what I'm hearing, a sorcerer. What happened in the distant past, though, that you're worried about? What happened in the distant past got something to do with this. Unrequired love. See, in the distant past, you was in a relationship where love wasn't required, and it just wasn't good for you. You was already in that kind of relationship, and you're not trying to do that again. You know. So what's this about this unrequired love relationship that you was in? What about this unrequired love relationship that you was in? In other words, you wasn't in love with this person. It was somebody need to heal their inner child, 16. Somebody had to learn to heal their inner child in this unrequired love that they was in, okay? So, what's the life they doing right now? What is Libra learning right now? What is Libra learning right now here? What is my Libra learning right now? What is my Libra learning right now in life? What are you learning right now? What are you learning right now about your life? What are you learning about life and what the goals that you really wanted? You're learning about wars and battles. You're worrying about wars. Somebody's in a time where there's war going on and battles that someone's having to fight and having to go through. What about these wars and battles currently you're going through a lot? Something about wars and battles. What about this wars and battles? Okay, we have here procrasting. Somebody was they've been causing sin and spell work allegedly on the 8th, and people are going to learn about spell work in Egypt, that they were doing something in Egypt, or you came from Egypt and you was doing spell work in the past. You used to do that. Man, you used to be a mighty spellcaster. You used to stick it to them like the way they love it. And that's where you at now. You like, I used to do this, baby. I don't know, my record don't show in this time, but honey, in the past life, I was put this way, I was the one to go to, baby. Don't even try to mess with me. Now, what's going to happen in the future? What are you working on? What life path? What are we working on in the future? So what are you, in the future, you're going to be working on courage, 30. You're working on courage, how to get yourself out of a hole in your soul, 36. So you're learning about have courage when it comes to having a hole in your soul. Like there's something misses. You need to have courage to finish it, to fix that. And that's what you're going to learn with authority figures. You have to learn something with authority figures. Somebody's going to have to learn that that's a hole in their heart. You know, it puts a hole in their heart when it comes to authority figures. What's about this authority and acting with authority? Because see, somebody with sexuality, they had to learn to deal with the sexuality of who they are. So for somebody might be having some woman energy and they're male, you know, and then they do both energies. And someone has authority in their voice and they're working out their sexuality and stuff in this next life and transportation and the temptation that could get you in trouble. Somebody 19, when it comes to magic, somebody was doing this in the floors, in the trees. They were doing magic. Somebody was learning all they could do, baby. This person here was learning magic but didn't use it the proper way. So things, when you don't do it the proper way, that's when things happen. Now, what's the message? Any other messages I have to give to Libra right now? Any other messages that Libra has to know right now? It says, we was watching you in the hallway, but they no longer watch you, but somebody was watching you. This person was half black and white man was doing it. Somebody named Noah allegedly could be involved in this. Somebody was overly critical on people. They were overly critical on people, this person. It says, you have an old soul. Somebody had a very old soul. Their soul is old. And they says, don't sign this contract. Don't sign a contract, Chris. This came out again in another reading before last week. Don't sign a contract, Chris. Something like that. And they want them to know, do not sign that contract. See, because you have high energy right now, you know. It says this is a healer and a teacher and a spiritual guide. So they don't want you to sign that contract, Chris, whatever you got going on there. Someone from Colorado, allegedly in the past, allegedly they put the D angel around you. They were sending that around you, somebody, but around the moon magic, but it went back to center. So, you know, everything's going back to center that they're trying. It says they fear you. Why? Because you're an earth angel. See, they was fearing on an earth angel, allegedly. Somebody in red, they would wear red clothes, or he or she do. No more me being in fear, just period. Somebody was saying, I'm not going to be fearing. Somebody's a Scorpio. I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to this person don't know how to prioritize themselves and be organized. This person, they everly in the past, they needed to learn how to be organized. A family secret is surfacing about this family. There's a family secret that's been a surface. They so sad. Somebody's going to be past the ending of their, maybe leaving here, allegedly. This was a karmic parent in the past, or maybe I already did. Somebody named Fantasia in the past. Somebody was trying to give you 50 years in jail, but it's in the reverse, so you shouldn't get it, Fantasia, but they're trying. It says, you burned down my house because you crazy. This person didn't, they wanted to burn down your house, but they didn't get to it. Something got in the way that didn't happen, Fantasia. What else? So don't let these jerks fool you. It says, I'm waiting on something to happen first before I come towards you. And then I'll let you ask me. But no, there's going to be peace after this pain. Somebody may live in Georgia. In the past, they say, you a savage. A music contract coming to somebody. Like, share, and subscribe.